How it goes, the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great, exceptional day. Like I said, we're going to be changing things up in 2024. I will not be putting out as much content as I usually do for for various reasons. Because I've got more things I need to work on in person and not just work on online. That's number one. Number two, I don't think I think I can add more value by not posting as much. So last week was the first time in years that I did not post my extra two videos, extra two videos on this channel, an extra video on my other channel because I had so much going on. But it made me come to a conclusion that in order for me to produce better content, it's time for me to not produce as much content. Quality over quantity is the key to anything in this life. So just want to put that out there. But anyways, all right. So I really like reading good news. Because most articles is always doom and gloom, and like this because the media is always known for only spreading negativity. Everything. If you've been on my channel long enough, I have a thing, rendition every month, and since January is almost here, I'll be doing my 15th rendition of today's forecast. We're all gonna die. So it's basically me just mocking the media of things that are actual current events that are going on that I find to be hilarious, not the serious events that are actually taking place. I'll leave it at that. But anyways, today I'm going to take you down to good old Jackson, Mississippi. Ironically, that's where I'm going next month. Look at some real estate. Because the real estate market is decent there. It's the state capital. No matter what state you go to, state capital equals federal dollars, state dollars. Federal government contracts, state government contracts, local government contracts, universities. Therefore, you got corporate America, all levels of government working together. So that's a place for people to make economic moves and not be able to live broke like a fool by choice. But I digress. Anyways, or like I said, I'm taking you down to Jackson, Mississippi, or as the locals call it, the SIP, down in the SIP. I love folks down south. My favorite part of the country is the South and the West Coast because I always say the laid backness of the culture fits my personality. I'm from the DMV area. I call it uptight country. So, but I digress. DMV area used to be more laid back compared to what it is now, but now it's just filled with a bunch of I'm so important and I'm so special people that it just makes me want to spit on them. But I digress. I'm a local. I can say that. According to the article, age 37, gentleman right here who's in the United States military, so thank you for your service. Justin Washington is set to graduate from good old Jackson State University. This took place on Friday, December 8th of this year, 2023. So it's past because today is December 19th. It's a significant achievement, especially graduating from HBCU, Jackson State University. Deion Sanders, put it on the map. That's another thing. So he made his bones there, and he moved on to now he's at Colorado State. But I digress. But like I said, this achievement took nearly 20 years in the making, as the pursuit of his higher education was abruptly cut short when he became a father. Washington recalls the critical moment of inspiration he received from his uncle's book, No More Bad Days, which reshaped his outlook on life. He said, once I read it, something clicked. It made me realize that a bad day is a mindset. My perspective changed. Believing I'm having a bad day would mean I'm giving up on the strength of God has given me, he stated. And when it comes to going through a multitude of serious life issues such as drugs, alcoholic addictions, being homeless, becoming a parent, can affect anyone in various different levels or various different ways. Mr. Washington was accepted into Stanford University in Birmingham, Sanford University in Birmingham, Alabama, which I might take a road trip there as well. He ended up becoming a teenage father, which for the most part always puts people behind. Mr. Washington's mother told him after finding out about the situation, you can no longer just do what you want. He says, I will not let you fail your child. And that's good old school family values right there. You're going to do whatever it takes, and I will be there to ensure you follow through. Mr. Washington ended up going to his mother's college, Jackson State University, known as JSU, but fell behind on his studies, partying and having fun as most young people do. And one thing that I can say is that this reminds me of why I didn't attend college until I didn't attend college in my late teens and early 20s. I actually started in my mid 20s because I didn't have the discipline back then like I do now. Then Mr. Washington ended up having another child, which involved him dropping out of college for a second time, unfortunately. Then after a third failed attempt to attend college to get his college degree through his stint at the University of South Alabama, Washington enrolled in the United States military. After realizing, he says, I had a child, I decided to join the military to secure a better future for my children. He explained, on June 28, 2008, he enlisted in the Mobile, Alabama National Guard and began training, which at this point was a good idea, but at this moment in the United States, I encourage more working people to do some sort of military service in order to get access to capital for purchasing a home, business, because you get small business loans, veteran-owned business loans through the Small Business Administration, known as SBA, and obtaining on-the-job training all at the same time. He was an E4 specialist. Washington's military service was punctuated by marriage and the birth of his, I believe, third child. So he just kept having babies, and I don't care what you feel, when you have a child in this world, it's not only a great responsibility, but it's an economic responsibility, meaning you have to have the money to take care of a child. In today's world, just to feed oneself is very, very expensive. So I implore the youth to just think on that. If you're going to have sex, use condoms, use birth control, go from there. As he excelled in training as a 9-4-E10 radio / cosmec repairer, Mr. Washington got deployed to the Middle East, did his duty, and ended up stationed in Alaska. Unfortunately, severely injured when a vehicle was riding and flipped over, and the equipment they were carrying shattered his left ankle and foot. This journey, coupled with his already ruptured thigh, ultimately led to Washington receiving a medical discharge. All he wanted to do was be a good father to his kids, but his wife ended up leaving him. He became homeless, and it's crazy, especially if anybody's ever lived in Alaska. After a while, you get an oil stipend of $1,000 a month. So imagine if he was living there with his wife, 3 kids, that would have been $5,000 a month right there off the break, plus his military salary. I'm just saying. But it's unfortunate that happened. Years later, he cleaned himself up, got remarried, went back to Jackson State University, graduated with honors with a degree in emergency management technology. To this day, he has written a few faith-based books and has launched a successful Christian clothing brand, Garments of Salvation. Love it. Check it out if you can find it online. The article ended on this note stating that Mr. Washington stated that I am committed to following God's guidance in everything I do. If he instructs me to do something, I start on it. I won't stop following his directions because his voice constantly guides me, Mr. Washington said. And as you see, he's very happy in this picture. You see a picture of himself, you see a picture of his mother, you see a picture of his wife. So his story reminds me that no matter what the situation is, one can make various different mistakes, but if you have the will, you have the faith, and my mindset is if you have the tenacity to say, hey, I'm going to move forward regardless of the situation, things can happen. Don't forget to check out Larry's Anything Goes online store. We sell a variety of products. Going to be paying more attention to the store more often. That's another reason why I will not be making as much content in the new year. Your stock market investor, crypto investor, mutual retirement account investor, don't forget to check out Weeble / Crypto.com, Coinbase. All these platforms you'll be able to make some money moves, and hopefully you don't live broke like a fool. And on that note, family, do the great thiefy things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. Remember, you can't get fired if you own the company, or even if you own stock. So it's time. We're going into 2024. It's time if you own something. Take care.